Only on 6, a father is accused of beating his son to death, and now he is on trial for killing this 11-week-old baby. KOIN Local 6 reporter Brent Weisberg is live in Washington County, where opening statements just wrapped up. Brent?
Amy, good afternoon. Prosecutors say the death of Brian Manzer was reckless and should not have happened. But in the 911 call you're about to hear, the defense attorney says his client was a desperate father trying to save his son's life and not a reckless murderer.
I have a 11-week-old infant, and he has stopped breathing. I've started to give him breaths through CPR. He has a pulse.
That 911 call was made by Kalik Manzer on June 12th of last year because his son, 11-week-old Brian, was vomiting and then had stopped breathing. There are two very different theories in this case. The prosecution says that Kalik Manzer was a father out of control at his wits' end, dealing with his two 11-week-old twins named Brian and Ethan. The defense says this case wasn't investigated properly, and they say detectives built the case around inconclusive evidence just to name a suspect. But as prosecutors point out, when Brian Manzer was at the hospital, doctors and even nurses noticed that he had a skull fracture, his brain was bleeding, and that his rib was broken, all signs of abuse.
He knew what he was doing. He knew he was hurting his kids. He just couldn't tell anybody. He just couldn't ask for help until it was too late.
During opening statements, Kalik Manzer broke down in tears as prosecutors showed the jury photos of his son lying in the hospital bed. Prosecutors have also made allegation that Manzer abused his second son, Ethan, who is still alive today. The defense attorney says his client never showed any hostility towards his family, and especially to his two sons.
The government wrongly assumes that Mr. Manzer was frustrated and took out his anger and aggression on Brian. There is going to be no evidence, and I can repeat that strong of an assertion. There will be no evidence that Kalik Manzer ever lost his temper.
It is important to know that this is not a death penalty case. This trial is expected to last the next 2 weeks.